Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial I'll be showing how to draft this beautiful corset, Victorian corset with a drape. So I'll start by taking in my body measurements. On the top of my pattern, I'll be taking my measurement. My bust point is 10, under bust 13, half length 17, the full length 19. So the full length of this top is 19. I'll go ahead to connect it in a straight line. After I'm done with this, I'll come over to the top here. I'll be taking my shoulder measure. My shoulder divided by 2 is 7. Then I'll come down by 1 inch. So after coming down by 1 inch, I'll be using it to make my shoulder slope. Look at what I'm doing, so you can be able to do yours the same way. So at this point right now, we're measuring my armhole, which is 7 divided by 2 is 7. I'll be connecting it like this in a straight line. Then this straight line here, I'll be using it to create my chest line by marking it in a straight line again. So guys, this is my chest line, bust point, under bust, half length, and the full length of this top. Guys, I'll go ahead to measure the middle of my armhole. Look at what I'm going to do. I'll be measuring the middle of my armhole. I'll be marking it down. Then at that middle point, I'll be coming in by half an inch. I'll go in by half an inch. Then after doing this, I will be measuring my bust divided by 4, which is 9, at my bust point. Then I'll connect it to meet my chest line. So now this dot here I'm marking is these 3 dots here. I'll be connecting it together with my pattern master. If you don't have a pattern master, use your freehand. Just make a good curve. So guys, at this point right now, come over to my neckline. I'll be measuring my neck, which is 3 by 3 for this pattern. I'm measuring just a standard neckline. I'm not going to make use of it, so I'll just make 3 by 3. Then I'll go ahead to just connect it. So right now guys, I'll be measuring my nipple to nipple, which is 4. The nipple to nipple divided by 2 is 4. So I'll be measuring it from my bust point, under bust, half length, and the full length of this top. I'm measuring it. So right now I'll go ahead to come up by 1 inch as my full length. I will come up by 1 inch. You can see what I just did here. Then I will use my pattern master to connect it in a straight line, stopping at that 1 inch. So guys, after you're done, you come over to your bust point, come down by 1 inch again. You can see you come down by 1 inch. So right now I want to make my dart. I'll come to my under bust. I'll be going in by half an inch at the both sides of this under bust. That's what I just did right now. Then I'll be connecting it to form a dart. So look at the way I'll connect it, and connect just the same way. Connecting, this is what you should have. So I'll come over to my sleeve here, my shoulder. I'll be measuring the middle of my shoulder. Measure what you have on your shoulder, then get the middle point. So after doing that, I'll go ahead to connect this shoulder line to meet my other darts that I have here. You can see this shoulder dart, this shoulder line will serve as my shoulder dart. Then I'll come up by half an inch at the both side of my shoulder dart on my chest line. You can see the place I come up by half an inch. Then I'll be connecting it to meet the dart I already have at my bust point and under bust. Just because I have it, I'm doing here. Go ahead and do yours the same way. Right now guys, I'll be taking in my body measurements. I already have my bust points. I'll check the dart I have here. I'll be adding it at the side. You can see. Then I'll come over to my under bust line. You need to pay attention here. I'll measure my round under bust, divide it by 4, which I have is 7.5. Then I'll check the dart I have here, and I'll add it to the measurement. So I'll come over to my waist here. I'll measure my waist, which is 8. Then I'll also come down and measure my waist at the full length, which is also 8. After I'm done with this, I'll use my pattern master to connect this line. Just look at the way I'm connecting the line, and connect just the same way. So after connecting, this is what I have. You can see what it's looking like. So I'll come over at the bust point line. I'll come down by 2 inches. You can see what I just did. Then I'll be connecting it to meet the tip of the dart I already have. You can see what I'm doing. I need to get my side bust dart, so go ahead and use 2 inches is a standard measurement. Then I'll go ahead to also connect it like this. So I have this sharp edge here. So right now this part I'm shading out, I'll be taking it out. So this is what my pattern is looking like. My pattern is actually coming out, and all this part I'm shading it, I mean that I will be taking it out. Then here I brought in my pattern mask. I just need to make a little bit curve here, just a little. That's what I'm doing. Just make a little curve here. Just do yours the same way. Just look at what I'm doing very well and make yours. I made a little bit curve like this. See, the extension of this curve is like just a 0.5 inches or quarter of an inch. I guess this is a quarter of an inch. So this extension is just a quarter of an inch here. Then I'll go ahead to connect this little extension for this curve to meet my my dart at the half length. You can see what I have here. You can see the curve. I'm trying to still correct it a little. So this is what I have here. My curve is looking really nice. I'll come over to this full length. I'll be measuring out 1.5 inches for my curve, the back effect. Then I'll come over to this point here. So I decided to just connect it to meet where the waistline stops, because that's how it looks like in the picture. Then this is what I have here. Just decided to connect it to meet that 2 inches. So this is what my pattern is actually looking like. So guys, right now it's time for me to cover out the upper part of this pattern. I need you to pay attention. So right now I'll be stop this part I just pointed. I need to stop there. I'll be making a little bit curve like this. Then I'll be stopping there, and I'll use my pattern master to connect this line like this, to connect and meeting the other line I have there. You can see what I have here. So right now here, this extension that I have here is just 0.5, no, quarter of an inch. This extension is like quarter of an inch here. So I'll just go ahead to also curve it out. You can see the way I'm curving it. Just go ahead and just curve it out. It's not actually, the top of this dress is not actually too curvy. Just give it a little bit curve. And then this part here is for the loop. So from here, what I have from the shear to the shoulder is 7.5. So don't forget it. So this 7.5, you have to add another 7.5 to it to create a strap long enough to fit in your armhole. So this is what I'll be having here. I'll be having a strap there. You can see in this dress there should be a strap, so you'll be having a strap. So guys, I'll go ahead to label my pattern. This center front 1 and this side front 2. You can see I love doing this. And here I'll go ahead to make my allowance by adding 1 inch allowance to this pattern. You can actually add 1.5 or 2 inches allowance for those that are beginners if you want, but I'm using 1 inch allowance for this dress. I need to make sure that this dress is like fitted in your body, so I'm just going to use 1 inch allowance because the fabric I'm using is a silk fabric for this dress. So right now guys, this is all. I'll just go ahead to extend it. So this is all for this pattern. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. So right now I'll be cutting it. I need to pay attention. Look at the way I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to slant it in like this, but I'm not going to go all the way through. So I'll be using my glue to just glue it like this. Guys, I'll be doing that later. So right now I need you to see how I'm going to cut it out and cut yours the same way. At this dart part here, just go ahead and slant the dart into 2. Look at the way I'm cutting. Go ahead and slant, but do not slant it all the way through. You can see the way I stopped. You can see how I stopped it. You can see what it looks like here. Then I'll go ahead to close in this side bust darts I have here by putting it on top each other, just the way I said before. So you just go ahead and use your glue to just hold it down, or use your tape, your masking tape, to just tip it down like this. So this is what I'm having. I've taken out that side bust that I added in this dress. So I'll go ahead to just cut out my remaining pattern the normal way you cut out your pattern. So guys, I need you to pay attention here and look at the way I'm going to cut this side out, because I need them to be equal. Just look. You see, I'm tracing out the other line, not this. You can see what I just did. I traced out the other line to make it look straight. You can see it, so that they will have the same. So you can see what I have. I did not go through this line that is not straight, so I went through this other line here. I'm trying to show you. So do not follow this other line. Went through this other line from this part like this and cut it out so that they can be the same. So guys, this is what I have for the front of this pattern. This is what it's looking like. So go ahead to draft this back together. This is my back pattern here. I'll just use my front pattern to draft out my back. I don't need much pattern for this. I don't need to start drafting my basic body again. So this is the half length. This is the under bust point, chest line. I hope you understand what I'm doing. I'm just drafting out the line I already have in the front pattern, then I'll connect it in a straight line. So after connecting, this is what I have. I went ahead to label it so that you understand what I'm saying. Chest line, bust points, under bust, and half length. So at this point, guys, I'll be marking out my bust point, which is divided by 4, which is 9, and 1 inch allowance to it. Then I'll come over to the waistline here, measure my waist, add 1 inch allowance to the waist here. Then I'll just be connecting these lines together. So guys, remember that this pattern should be having a zip, but I'll just add out the zipper allowance when I'm cutting the fabric. So I'll go ahead to trace this like this. You can see what I'm doing. Go ahead and trace this curve so it will match with the front. Then you go ahead and trace out all these parts. After tracing, this is what you should have. Use your pattern master to then connect it. You can see this is what I have here. I have already taken my measurement first before making this curve and tracing these things out. So just go ahead and cut out your pattern. At this point, guys, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. Put on the notification bell. Tell me what you think about this pattern. Help this channel grow. I'm a beginner into this, so please help my channel to grow. Tell me what you think about this pattern in the comment section. Put on the notification bell. Don't forget, share, like. So guys, this is what I have for the front here and the back. You can see it, they are the same. So I'll add in zipper allowance when I'm cutting my fabric. The zipper allowance is actually 2 inches or 1.5. So I'll cut 2 of this, but this one here, which is the center, will be on fold. It will be on fold, don't forget. So this is what I have. This one also be, I also cut out 2 pieces of this back. So don't forget it when you're cutting on your pattern. Add your zipper allowance when you're cutting on your fabric. So see you in my next video. Bye.